This could be the most important meeting of my career.
My company's future might be riding on this deal.
Right on time. I re-evaluated all the evidence. It took every resource I had, but the final answer is clear. Ularu is the mole.
So this clears Imogen of wrongdoing. Good.
In due time. I'll be reaching out. Right now, we need her to remain in hiding. Yes, you made the right call. I've briefed Masako and discussed her plans on handling this. While we both agree Ularu is guilty, we need irrefutable evidence before presenting this to the board. For now, we lead everyone to believe that Imogen was the mole, and the situation was dealt with.
I can understand the need for deception, but it does come at quite a cost.
Imogen is a resourceful woman. I have no doubt she's in a safe house of her own design. In fact, she probably sees this as a paid vacation. My guess is she's lounging on a couch somewhere, binging all those movies she hasn't had time to watch. Good. Keeping Ularu in the dark is the key to taking her down. Masako has tasked Ularu with writing the program to bring down Infinity Ltd. We believe she'll take the chance to incriminate Masako within the program, so this could provide the evidence we're looking for. You will be tasked with the assignment to infiltrate Infinity, so before you go, I want you to bring that program to me. If I can't find hidden code on a single slate, I certainly deserve to be fired. Ularu is limited in what she can hide here. Plus, she'll have no reason to believe anyone will be looking in the first place. Then we'll have to find another way to build a case against Ularu. And it won't be easy. Good. Once Ularu believes she's properly deflected any suspicion, I've no doubt she'll be bold enough to hide something within whatever program she writes. Now, let's attend a meeting.
Work to do.
We called you all together to discuss a recent security breach. We discovered a mole within the company who leaked vital information about Project Dominion to Infinity Ltd.
You've got to be kidding me.
Just don't tell me it's Vina. I think we've all noticed she's not here.
Before you speculate any further, no, it's not Vina. The guilty party is Imogen Salzo, much to my disappointment. Our operative here obtained the evidence to confirm it.
Dalton, how does something like this happen?
Imogene is highly trained. Ularu can even speak to that. We demand the best. So that's the threat we deal with.
I may have well-trained operatives, but security is your responsibility, Dalton. This is a huge failing on your part.
I accept the responsibility, but let's not forget. The mole has already been exposed and dealt with.
Of course, thanks to another of my operatives. Watch me.
Imogene's been dealt with, so bickering is pointless. All I care about is reacquiring our property and what this might be costing us financially.
Vina is completing the internal neuroamp prototype as we speak. Our operative will receive the implant, infiltrate Infinity Ltd., and obtain any and all research. I have it on good authority. The experimentations they've done to replicate the missing pieces of our work have resulted in fatalities.
Botched human trials and murder for hire? You don't bounce back from that. At least not with Infinity's legal team.
If I may make a suggestion, we should give this evidence to David at SSNN. It's the best neutral method of releasing this information to the general public.
That'd make my job easier.
David it is, then.
Misako, the internal neuroamp is ready if you want to send out the candidate.
I hope you're ready for this. You always have a choice. You just have to decide which set of consequences you prefer to live with. Vina will be waiting for you in the neuroamp division in R&D. Once you're done, meet me in my office. Be ready to discuss the details of your next assignment.
Ryujin has certainly taken time to craft an appearance for itself. Neuroamps have not been completely outlawed.
Hey there. Ah, here's my lucky candidate. I hope you're ready to embark on one amazing journey. The internal neuroamp is basically the next leap in our line of influential amplifiers. It gives the user dominion over a less dominant target, meaning you can heavily influence another person's thoughts and actions. Technically, that remains to be seen. It's not legal, but those decisions will be left up to a higher power who is neither you nor me. Oh yeah, it gives Ryujin Industries a huge advantage over the competition. So, are you ready to get started? Neurosurgery is my specialty. I've performed more operations than I can count on a wide variety of brains. So I like to think that I'm wildly overqualified. Really, I could do this in my sleep. Yes, I always love a willing subject. Now, just a few details before we begin. Obviously, we'll be putting you under. I'll be making a small incision in the back of your skull where the internal neuroamp will be fitted. The whole procedure should only take 3 to 4 hours with little to no downtime afterwards, provided DeMarcus got everything entered correctly.
Did I not just say I quadruple-checked the numbers?
You know I'm just giving you a hard time. Besides, I've got to make sure my patient is reassured. There's little to no risk, assuming your brain is typical and you don't have any adverse reaction to the anesthesia. First sign of trouble, we back out and start evaluating other candidates. Of course. We've got, what, 5 PhDs between the two of us?
6, but who's counting?
All I'm saying is that you're in good hands. Now, just lie down on the table once you're ready, and we should be good to go.
Always good to
This
speak with
unit
a
is
friend.
not suited for
If
addressing
this has not all been a
mental health
horrible
concerns.
miscalculation, then we will speak again soon. A pleasure. May you find favor in all things.
All right, let's get this party started. Well, look who's finally up. The operation was a success, obviously. Once you're able to refocus, let me know how you're doing. It's good to see you again. So, how are you feeling? You look good? Huge success. No surprises, no signs of rejection. You were the ideal subject. Now, we just keep our fingers crossed and hope no unknown side effects come creeping in later. That's exactly what we want. Just a couple quick notes before using the internal neuroamp. First, you can only influence one person at a time. And second, the effect is temporary, so be prepared if you use it in a combat situation. Let's just say it varies based on the user. Some people have greater mental capabilities than others, which would increase the duration. Now that's something to talk to the drone engineers about. Now let's test this sucker out. DeMarcus has graciously volunteered for science, he says. Our preliminary testing was rigorous enough that there's little to no risk involved here. The biggest unknown was finding the perfect compatible alloy for the implant. We've had the tech itself working externally for quite some time. That's the spirit. DeMarcus loves being hands-on and experiencing things on his own. It's probably why he's the second most published scientist here, after me. Just head up the stairs nearby to the observation deck.
This unit does not possess advanced surgical capabilities.
We don't get a lot of visitors up here.
As an observer, the effect is quite unnerving. It is hard not to immediately worry about the implications.
Wormholes? The probability involved.
Oh my god, that was incredible! What was it like?
Wow. How to describe it? 1 minute I was excited about seeing how the experiment would go. The next, I had a brief moment of disorientation and figured I must have lost my train of thought. It felt eerily natural. And yes, I admit it, just as you predicted.
I knew it, I knew it, I knew it! I can hardly wait to finish writing up my latest dissertation. And you owe me 100 creds.
I'll be keeping myself under constant surveillance now. I'm curious if any other side effects may manifest.
So, tell me all about it. How did it feel? Any side effects? Yes! Good. Hear that, DeMarcus? That's 2 for 2 now.
I heard. It really was fascinating how all I experienced was a moment of disorientation. It's truly remarkable tech. Those are the kind of edge cases that I let the board work out. Obviously, tech like this is going to come with its fair share of red tape. Not at all. But I can imagine if I experienced disorientation like that, but regained my awareness in another room, it could be a bit jarring. We'll definitely be running some more tests in the future, though. So many situations to account for. When it comes to your job, you bet it does. Besides, the neuroamp isn't total control. If a subject's morals or beliefs in something are strong enough, we still see points of failure. That being said, it's been interesting to discover the actions our subjects sanction in their own minds.
Okay. As much as I'd love to go over the details and potential of this amazing piece of technology I created, Masako wants to see you. It sounds like you have an assignment to complete, and DeMarcus and I have a lot of notes to record.
Our floor's off limits to most people. Kinda nice to have a guest.
Please hurry from engaging in.
Reagents certainly spared no expense.
Don't cause any trouble.
You're here. I wasn't sure how accurate Vina's promise of no downtime was going to be.
Let's just hope her promise of no brain damage holds true as well.
Now that you've been outfitted with the internal neuroamp, it's time to put that tech to work. We're sending you into Infinity Ltd. Lucas Drexler is about to learn exactly why you don't steal from Ryujin Industries. All right. Yuko has provided a layout of Infinity Ltd. You have 2 options for this assignment. We'll be providing you with the means for both. Option A, you gain entry through their maintenance access on the roof. Option B, we give you an assigned identity and arrange a meeting for you. Option A, you need to remain under the radar the entire time. Option B, you have a slight cover that may give you the opportunity to talk your way to your objectives. Of course not. The meeting is just a legitimate way in. Once inside, you'll be led to a waiting room where your host will be running late. That's your opportunity to make your way to either the executive floor or R&D. Just hope those acting skills don't get you caught or killed. Now, depending on your preference, you'll either find yourself in the maintenance hallway or the marketing department. From there, you have 3 targets. First, you have Lucas Drexler's computer, located in his office on the executive floor. Second is Faye Sengsavan's computer, in research and development. And third, you need to obtain the prototype they are working on, also in R&D.
As you can see, you've several floors to traverse, so I hope you're prepared for an adventure.
You'll only have free range on the marketing floor. Infinity may be cheap, but they know at least some level of security is needed in this business. That's what we're counting on. Now, I had Ularu create a program that you need to run on both Lucas and Faye's computers. I'll let her explain the details.
You see, once we expose Infinity Ltd, all of their data is going to come under intense scrutiny. We only want the public to know about their mercenary hires and unauthorized human trials, but Project Dominion needs to remain confidential. I've created an overseer program that will gather all the evidence we need, and at the same time delete anything relating to Ryujin and the internal neuroamp. Anyone who comes forward to defend Lucas would be prosecuted as either aiding or being an accessory to these crimes. They all know career suicide when they see it. As for Lucas himself, if he wants to speak up and add corporate theft to his laundry list of crimes, fine. But who's going to believe him?
It is best to keep the public unaware of such a device.
If the media were to draw their own conclusions, I'm certain they'd just create a panic among people. Controlling the narrative is of the utmost importance.
Understood.
No, we don't want to mess on this one. A body count will only distract from what we're trying to accomplish here. In fact, unless they're a master at being one with the shadows, I'd suggest you leave your friend behind. Lower the risk. Simon Rychek provided some useful info on how to evacuate civilians from the building. I'm sure you remember him from Sidonia. Infinity's maintenance crew is understaffed. It's only a matter of time before pressure gauges go unchecked and they have a massive issue on their hands. Once that pressure becomes too much, every floor in the building is going to suffer from gas leaks, setting off an automated alarm to evacuate the building. Simon was able to get a passcode for you to access their system's computer, so you can force the heating system to fail. I'm told security has masks to handle the situation, so the guards will still be stationed in the building. It's also possible they'll activate their building's defense system as well. You may run into a few automated turrets, so you'll still want to try and stay out of sight. If the information Simon provided is accurate, you can reach the control systems through a computer located in the maintenance area. It's a pretty convenient stop if you enter in through the roof access. I'd highly advise you use it. This assignment isn't the time to test your abilities. The only thing you're out there to prove is that you can get this job done. We're also issuing you an operative suit. It should help reduce their ability to detect you. These suits are typically reserved for the senior ranks, but we want to reduce as much risk as possible. Please, you're an exception. But we can talk promotion after you pull off this assignment. And that's what we're hoping for. If you can pull this off, even I'll be impressed.
Once you've run the Overseer program and obtained the prototype, your final step is to deliver the slate to David Barron at the SSNN field office. If he asks questions, feel free to give him just enough information to pique his interest, but no mention of Ryujin or who you are. SSNN is used to anonymous tips. They'll do whatever verifications they deem necessary on their own to confirm the story. Ularu assured me it's safe.
The Overseer program will purge itself once its primary function is complete. The only thing left on that slate will be proof of Infinity's crimes.
It doesn't matter what he believes. David's first move will be to verify the information you provide. Once he receives confirmation, which he will, he'll see it as his duty to report the news. It certainly will, and we'll have front row seats. So, any final questions before you go? You'll be restricted to the marketing floor. An appointment is not a free pass. You have the ability to manipulate others. If someone's in your way, you could get them to move. If someone has a keycard, that means you have a keycard. The possibilities here are really up to you. Pay attention. We're giving you a slate with a program that has to be run on Lucas Drexler and Fei Sengsavan's computers. You also need to steal their current prototype of the internal neuroamp kept on their R&D floor. Once you're done, you're bringing the slate to David Barron at SSN. Depending on whether or not you evacuate the building, you'll mostly be looking at security guards, much like we have here. You may encounter an automated defense system in the form of turrets as well, so be careful. Good luck, and be sure to report directly back to me when you return.
Here's Simon's passcode, your operative suit, the Overseer program, and your cover identity. Your cover ID card is encoded with roof entry and elevator access, so that's your ticket in, either way. Don't screw this up, Skylar Lumen.
My career will be over if this deal falls through.
Do you have the program? With pleasure. So, Let's take a look. Aha. The decryption's hit a snag. There's definitely something here. This is exactly what we needed. According to this code, Ularu intended to plant false evidence that would show Masako was working with Lucas. The moment you launched the Overseer program, a series of fabricated communication files would have been uploaded to the Infinity LTD network. One of them even frames Masako for encouraging Lucas to push for early human trials.
So it is clear what she intended. Now all that is left is to decide what to do with this information.
I'm going to copy the necessary files off this slate and issue you a new one. I want to keep this one intact, so Ularu can't dispute it. All right. Now, we finally have the evidence we need to prove Ularu's guilt.
Then it is time we use it.
There's no doubt. Should you have even noticed the upload, the program itself is designed to ignore any stop commands. It would have been too late. Yes, and had you not brought this program to me in the first place, you would have been the one planting the false evidence. Without that falsified evidence, Ularu is in for a big surprise. I fully expect she'll be eagerly awaiting SSNN's broadcast, anticipating Masako to be accused alongside Lucas Drexler. Here's the new slate with the revised Overseer program. Let's get this assignment finished the right way.
If there is something I can do, please, say so. You are a welcome diversion. What do you need? Yes, of course. I am not surprised you have questions. It is not for the faint of heart, I assure you. To know what the future will bring, what will be not just your fate, but that of all those around you. And yet to have no choice but to keep that to yourself. It is a challenge. But as I have told you, it also fills me with purpose. And that purpose is what guides me and drives me. You might as well just ask me to explain the universe. Here is what I can tell you. The Great Serpent revealed himself to Jinan Barun decades ago. He explained that it was he who had created this galaxy and breathed life into it. And while he had slumbered after his creation, he would return soon. And when he did, those who had served him in his stead would be rewarded, while the rest were cast into shadow. And so, for generations, we have prepared for his return. That is not for me to decide. If the High Council summons me home, I will go. Until then, I will perform whatever tasks they ask of me. I am human. Of course it bothers me. But I have a mission. My mission helps preserve the lives and safety of my people. That is more important than my personal feelings. For all that I have seen and experienced, I have never been as afraid as the day Sarah and Vladimir confronted me. But they agreed to keep my secret. And they have held true to their word. That surprised me, but also gave me some amount of comfort. I know that most would not react the same. House Varun is still widely hated in the settled systems. And that sentiment will not change anytime soon. It is, after all, much of the reason I was sent here in the first place. You know, of course, of our tumultuous history with the people of the settled systems. Few have forgiven the Serpent's crusade. The High Council worries that many would still plot to wipe us out completely. And so we watch. We look for warning signs and we send word back. And it does not help that we are unfortunately still dependent on supplies. Life on the edge of the settled systems is difficult, and no one will formally trade with us. So agents also help oversee deals with smugglers and the operations needed to transport supplies back home. We will speak again. It is a good day, yes? I thought you might want this. Why have you gone quiet? Another time.
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
Require my assistance.
Say the word, and we shall be on our way.
Yes, infallible one?
Struts retracting. Let's get out of here. Achieving orbit now.
having a good one? You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving. Okay, no bounty. You're clear. Something to report?
You'll need to contact someone directly if you need to schedule an appointment. Hello. Did you have an appointment with us today? Ah, yes. From Lumen Interactive. The elevator here will take you to the marketing floor. Once you arrive, you'll want to talk to Ellis Ortiz. He's the receptionist there and will be happy to help you. If all goes well, maybe I'll be seeing you around more often.
I trust you are well. I'll be here when you need me.
Welcome to Infinity Ltd's market. In department. Desi notified me that you are on your way. If you just have a seat, I can notify Miss Hart that you've arrived. Okay? Hello. Make yourself comfortable. Notify Miss Hart that you're here. Feel free to use any of the facilities on the floor while you wait. The break room and bathrooms are just around the corner.
Wait for this day to be over.
Someone to blame, I blame Lucas.
This better not be more revenge for losing that quantum deal. I hate to say it, but I have to cancel with Skylar. I am completely unprepared.
Just relax. I'll take care of it. I'm sorry the appointment didn't work out. You can take the elevator to the lobby when you're ready to leave.
Oh, were you my appointment? I'm so sorry. I somehow ended up triple booked today. I'm just trying to get ready for this department meeting right now, but you can see Ellis on your way out if you'd like to reschedule. Oh, well, I suppose I can work that out. Plus, I happen to know he's free right now. I'll set you up for executive floor permissions and notify Lucas that you're on your way. Besides, I'm pretty sure he's to blame for my current situation anyway. Good luck. I really am sorry about all this.
Hey there. Nice hat.
Problem?
The engineering department's missed 4 deadlines already this month. There's a lot riding on my next presentation.
If nothing changes, we'll have to reduce the budget for this year.
I'm in big trouble if our next deal doesn't go through. Projections aren't looking the best.
So you're the one Nina mentioned. I don't normally take last-minute meetings, but she assured me it'd be worth my time. Especially since it's just a quick introduction. Lucas Drexler, nice to meet you. I heard you're interested in a partnership? I certainly hope so. You managed to turn a canceled meeting into an introduction with me, so I'd be looking forward to seeing what else you can do. Well, we still have to go through the proper channels, but having met you, let me see what I can do to speed things up. Is there anything else I can do for you? Well now, that's an unusual offer. I suppose after having your initial meeting canceled, it'd be a shame for it to go to waste. Besides, if we're to be partners in the future, we might as well put faith in each other today, right? was nice meeting you.
You've got our permission to take care of them. Things are dangerous, apparently. Sir.
The employees will throw a fit if we have to cut their pay again.
I hope the investors I spoke to come through with that funding.
I'm sorry, the appointment didn't work out.
I hope Deimos gets back to us soon.
day the roof starts leaking, I quit.
Corporate has no idea how hard we're working down here.
I bet the bartender at the viewport makes twice what I do.
Is this meeting ever going to start?
No way I'm getting this project done on time.
I don't know.
Give me a raise soon. I'm gonna have to take a second job.
I pulled all-nighters all week, and they still won't give me a raise.
This is why I hate meetings. They never start on time.
Corporate barely shells out to keep the lights on in here.
Psst. Don't trust the coffee in the break room. Corporate only stocks the cheap stuff. It's not like Nina to be so late. I assure you, this isn't how we normally operate.
Anything to report? nice day now.
I have my doubts about Project Dominion.
You should get back to work. We're on a tight deadline. If you need something, send me an email. I'll get to it later.
I'm not the one who has to recruit test subjects. My career's riding on the success of our internal neuroamp. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that our next test will be successful.
How are you? Yes, let's.
We're close to the action here in New Atlantis. Prime position to report on the big stories that affect the United Colonies. Can I help you? Well, I'll be the judge of that. What's this so-called story about? All right, I'll take a look. I don't suppose you want to tell me how you got this evidence. Well, you can't blame me for trying. Maybe your friend here would care to comment?
The friend has no comment.
I see. Is there at least a name I can cite as my source? Why am I not surprised? As long as the evidence is adequate and verifiable, I expect it'll be aired within the hour, if not sooner. Now, if you'll excuse me, I obviously have some work to do.
wander into any restricted areas.
I've yet to hear anything of note on SSNN. Let's hear your report. Good. David won't be able to resist a story like this. He'll do some preliminary confirmations, which will be enough to get the broadcast out to the public. And how did the NeuroAmp perform? I thought it would be. So now it's just a waiting game for SSNN to break the news. Once the story airs, we have another board meeting scheduled to decide how to handle Infinity. Go ahead, Maeve.
The SSNN broadcast has started. Shall I patch it through?
Yes, thank you.
Infinity Ltd. and Lucas Drexler are currently under investigation for a number of violations, including murder for hire, unauthorized human trials, and corporate theft. Authorities representing the UC and the Freestar Collective have been dispatched to a consolidated mining station and the clinic. Both locations are believed to hold numerous victims. Drexler's motivation appears to be an attempt to launch a new product based off stolen information from a competitor. The details on the project itself and the competitor have yet to be confirmed. This has been David Barrett for SSNN.
Perfect. This exposure puts Infinity right where we want them. The meeting will begin momentarily, but I want you to discuss the options we have with the other members. Infinity's net worth is about to hit rock bottom, so this gives us the opportunity to win a little more public faith. Quite right. The truth is, we'll be making evaluations. We'll shed any employees who don't make the cut, slowly but surely. By incorporating Infinity, we eliminate a competitor, get their best employees and contracts, and all while boosting our public perception.
I suppose it is all very simple when you do not consider the impact on actual human lives. Just your bottom line.
We've already done some initial evaluations, so I'm certain of it. Infinity has a lot of appeal being in New Atlantis. I'm sure plenty of brilliant minds are there because they prefer the location. Plus, there's always that handful of people that think they've got something to prove by not working for Ryujin. As if other corporations are really any better. It is the right thing, for Ryujin. Which is why I'd like you to talk to the board to convince them this is the right move. There are several who might disagree, and you have the perfect tool to help sway them. Fine. Whether or not you use the internal neuroamp is up to you, but I still want results. You'll find most of the board members in their offices preparing. We'll need at least 50% of the... I trust you'll get it.
Water into any restricted areas.
I've yet to hear anything of note on... Good. David won't be. He'll do some preliminary And how did the neuro... I thought it would be. So now it's just... Once the story... Go ahead, Maeve.
The SSNN broadcast has started. Shall I patch it through?
Yes, thank you.
Infinity Ltd. and Lucas Drexler are currently under investigation for a number of violations, including murder for hire, unauthorized human trials, and corporate theft. Authorities representing the UC and the Freestar Collective have been dispatched to a consolidated mining station and the clinic. Both locations are believed to hold numerous victims. Drexler's motivation appears to be an attempt to launch a new product based off stolen information from a competitor. The details on the project itself and the competitor have yet to be confirmed. This has been David Barrett for SSNN.
Perfect. This exposure puts Infinity right where we want them. The meeting will begin momentarily, but Infinity's net... Infinity is about to crumble before the eyes of the public. They employ thousands of people, and those thousands of people are now worried about their jobs. That's where we come in. First, we'll issue a public statement expressing disgust at their leadership, but sympathy for the innocent workers. That's when we offer to acquire them. Quite right. The truth is, we'll be making... by incorporating...
I suppose it is all very simple when you do not consider the impact on actual human lives. Just your bottom line.
We've already done some initial... Infinity has a lot. Plus... It is the right thing. For Ryujin. Which is why I'd like you to talk to the board to convince them this is the... There are several who might disagree. I know you can as well. So now, you're fully aware of my expectations. You'll find most of the board members in their offices preparing. Vina is also here, waiting for the meeting to start. We'll need at least 50% of the vote to go our way. In the event of a tie, I will make the final decision. I trust you'll get it done. I hope the others will give you more insight.
I'm glad we're making an effort in our appearance today. Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available. An efficient exchange, then. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity LTD throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why? Oh, I didn't mean in regards to Drexler's actions. More in the sense of, should a superior company like Ryujin make room for so many potentially lackluster employees? This is true. Infinity never had the financial resources to match ours. Getting what few... Next question. I'm glad we're making an effort in our appearance today. Just the person I want. An efficient exchange. You've had the chance to encounter Do you think they're worth redemption? Saving the jobs of thousands is altruistic, which is not a luxury corporations have. It's a financial burden. It would be a huge undertaking on my part. Perhaps I wanted to see if I could be convinced otherwise. It's easy to say, it's the right thing to do for someone in your position. But for me, Infinity LTD is a huge financial unknown. It's high risk versus mediocre reward. That is a plea more well spent on Genevieve or Alexis. I prefer to focus on the numbers and leave emotions out of my decision-making. Your disdain is noted. And perhaps you thought I'd care because you're hopeful. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako handled the mole situation? And why do you feel it was well handled? Please note I'm not disagreeing. I just want to know the why behind your statement. Being prepared for anything is a great asset. One that Masako excels at. I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been. It's the next big step for Ryujin Industries. Financially, it'll keep us secure for years to come. There's no doubt it's our future. It's only dangerous to those who can't afford one, hence the added motivation that will bolster sales. Ah, your companion. I would be interested in another perspective.
You are naive if you think tech like this will remain under control. Think of the neuroamp in the hands of a Varun zealot or Crimson Fleet pirate. It is not a matter of if it will happen, but a matter of when. Will you be equipped to handle the repercussions when that day comes?
What makes you so certain this is inevitable? Not that I doubt the scenario.
Simple. It is human nature. Nuclear weapons, chemical warfare, xeno-warfare, mechs. Enemies and competitors will get their hands on this tech eventually and reverse engineer it to use however they see fit.
I admit, you've properly pushed my concerns to the very edge. Your friend here is quite convincing. The internal neuroamp does indeed come with risks, none of which I am inclined to take anymore. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
I hope you're enjoying your new neuroamp.
Is Masako checking up on me to make sure I'm on her side? Well, you can let Masako know to rest easy. It just so happens that her agenda lines up with mine. We just need to grab Infinity Ltd. while it's got the public's full attention. I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light. The only downsides are the unknowns. Lyndon and Alexis are gonna have a lot on their hands. Not that I'm getting off easy. Whatever they find, if it hits the public, that's gonna fall on my shoulders too. Infinity is that sad company in distress with thousands of employees terrified of their futures right now. We are the warm embrace of security coming to rescue them. I'm sure I can squeeze enough goodwill out of this to last us at least a year. The consumer is our lifeblood, so capturing their wants and desires, of course, it's all I care about. I'm sure I wouldn't be in this position today if it wasn't. Well, you have my attention. Of course, which is why I know it requires some very delicate handling. But unlike Alexis, I believe we can get the proper restrictions and regulations in place to have a marketable product. We do it every day with weapons we arm ourselves and our ships with. The possible backlash on tech like this is not lost on me. However, the internal neuroamp will define the next era of tech, with Ryujin at the forefront. It's not an opportunity you just walk away from. You're right. The moment you violate your customer's trust, there's a good chance, even worse, Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond.
I'm glad we're making an effort in our appearance today. I'm glad we're making an effort in our appearance today. Just the person I wanted. An efficient exchange, then. You've had the chance to encounter. Do you think there were... Saving the jobs of thousands. It's a financial... That is a plea more well spent. Perhaps I wanted to see if I could be convinced otherwise. It's easy to say, it's the right thing to do. But for me, Infinity L... Your disdain is noted. and perhaps you thought I'd care because you're hopeful. Next question. What is your opinion on? And why do you feel it was well handled? Please note I'm not disagreeing. I just want to know the why behind your statement. Being prepared for anything is a great asset, one that Masako excels at. I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been. It's the next big step for Ryujin Industries. There's no doubt it's our. It's only dangerous to... Ah, your companion.
You are naive if you think tech-like. Think of the neuroamp in the hands. It is not a matter of if it will.
What makes you so certain this isn't?
Simple. Nuclear weapon. Enemies and competitors will get their...
I admit, your friend here is quite convinced. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
I hope you're enjoying your new neuroamp. Ooh, look at that. Your surgical wound's healing like a dream. Hey there. It's good to see you again. If operation starts to bore you, let me know. You'd make a perfect lab rat for the R&D team. If operation starts to bore you, let me know. You'd make a perfect lab rat for the R&D team. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory flashes or losing time, I hope. What? No, of course not. They're purely theoretical. Oh, well, at least tell me what you think of the neuroamp. I hope you're not actually suggesting that the technology I spent years working on and perfecting never sees the light of day. This is groundbreaking work. My life's work. Fine, fine. Make your case. Oh, There is adequate data to back what you're saying. More than adequate. Well, this conversation's made me feel like a proper monster. But you're right. In a perfect world, tech like this is used for good. But this world is far from perfect. It is. It really is. For years, my only focus has been, is this possible? And then, how do I make it work? I never stopped to consider if it was right, or what it would mean. I guess it'll be up to a vote either way. It's not on the meeting agenda, so I assume you'll bring it up yourself? We just have to hope the others will see reason. So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity Ltd be? That's what I'm hoping for. They may be the underdog, but that doesn't mean they don't have a brilliant mind or two. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting. Good on you.
It would be almost fitting to see the technology immediately turned on those who fostered its creation.
If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk, and look what happened. Completely. I understand the success it can bring for the corporation, but my only concern here is security. It's not that the board majority fails to see the dangers. It's that they believe we can overcome them. That hubris could easily bring this corporation down one day. I only hope it won't be on my watch. You were saying? It's not often, but yes. And I'm not the only board member that initially voted against moving forward with the research. You read my mind. Let's just hope Masako and the others see it that way. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd, we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp might cause. Well, the timing could be better, but I don't feel strongly one way or another about the acquisition. We've gone through our fair share in the past, and this one would be no different. If Masako wishes to bring Infinity into the fold, I will not stand against it. I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd is obviously not known for their security. I only hope that Masako and the others will be patient with the process. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some preparations to make. We'll be announcing Ularu's termination of employment at this meeting, so I need to have security ready to escort her off the premises.
So much work to do. If you need something, make it quick. I'd like to make sure my arguments are solid before this meeting. You heard correct. I've every reason to believe that Infinity Ltd is the Pandora's box of corporations. All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset. All right. Yes, there are numerous benefits. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom. Unfortunately, half my department's been poring over documentation, while the other half is writing up what legal guidance they can. Nice to know someone is. Everyone's too busy praising its completion to think about the dangers it could represent. First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life. Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or collects dust in storage.
Well, that is one very clear position.
Well, I'm both glad and surprised to hear the one person who has one say that. Masako is lucky to have you at her disposal, you know? You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful, but now I really do need to get back to my notes.
Is Masako checking up on me to make sure I'm on her side? Well, you can let Masako know to rest easy. It just so happens that her agenda lines up with mine. We just need to grab Infinity Ltd. While it's got the public's full attention. I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light. I'm sure I can squeeze enough goodwill out of this to last us at least a year. The consumer is our lifeblood, so capturing their wants and desires, I'm sure I wouldn't be in this... All right, I suppose you've earned the right to voice your opinion after everything you've done, qualified or not. So let's hear it. The possible backlash on tech like this is not lost. However, the internal neuroamp will define the next era of tech. It's not an opportunity you just... Not when you word it like that. But a product that can settle disputes or help broaden someone's point of view? Then you really have something that consumers will buy into. Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors.
Did Masako send you to try and convince me to acquire Infinity Ltd? I think we both know that's not going to work. Our public perception is good enough. If you ask me, reaching out to save Infinity just makes us look weak. The internal neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitors, not take them under our wing. This is exactly why Masako's time as CEO is finished. That neuroamp is a breakthrough. It gives us the edge in any situation, so get used to it. Besides, most on the board would agree. So why not use it to seal Infinity's fate? The corporate world will hear SSNN's story and believe Ryujin exposed Infinity because they stole from us. It sends a strong message. But acquiring Infinity could be interpreted as a safety net. Infinity tried to screw us over, yet they still survived. We need to be sending a much stronger message. If you mess with Ryujin, we'll shut you down. Period. Ryujin Industries isn't a corporation built on heart. I think you know that. The benefits may exist, but the message will be stronger. As long as everyone has Ryujin's best interests in mind, this should make for an interesting meeting. An issue? That would be a foolish move. Dalton and Alexis are the only two against it. You'd never get the rest to shut it down. As long as we have the proper safeguards and rules in place, the benefits exponentially outweigh the drawbacks. Even if we limit the usage to Ryujin Industries employees alone, the advantages are too numerous to count. Please, Ryujin's best interests are long-term success and growing profits. The internal neuroamp provides both. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of preparations to make.
All right, everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity Ltd's botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial, and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity Ltd.
The operative is right. Legal ramifications are a certainty, but the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages.
Arguments?
Infinity Ltd. could be the Pandora's box of financial and legal risks. I simply cannot support an acquisition.
We should be crushing our competition, not rescuing them from their own flaws. This is a weak decision, Masako, and you know it. In fact, I move that Masako be removed from CEO altogether.
Ularu, this isn't a line you want to cross.
And considering you're the mole, if anyone's going to be removed from power, it's going to be you.
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole, and she'd been dealt with. Hello? What's going on in there?
Do you even have any proof to back up this outrageous claim?
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against Masako onto Lucas Drexler's computer.
To put it bluntly, Ularu, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely. But this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
Security, escort Miss Chen to her office and see that she stays put.
You'll regret this. All of you.
I believe the only regret would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business. All in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd?
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up? The internal neuroamp is a key component of Ryujin Industries' success for the next 10 years, if not more. Why would we shelve it after we've finally perfected it? I'm waiting.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but he's right. Regardless of the pros, the cons are too morally and ethically irresponsible to move forward with.
I must agree. We can't go through with production on technology like this until certain safeties can be guaranteed.
Very well. All in favor of shelving Project Dominion?
Aye. Nay.
Vina, prep Project Dominion for storage. Any other matters to bring forth? None? This concludes our order of business for today.
If only there were more hours in the day.
Shelving the internal neuroamp. Not the outcome I anticipated. A fine point, but it still proves its usefulness. The truth remains, Lucas Drexler learned a hard lesson, and we exposed a traitor among us. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin. It's well earned and deserved. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing Ularu. No operative has ever had to investigate our own to the extent that you did. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure, considering you were fairly new at the time.
There was no honor in Ularu's plan. It did not deserve to succeed.
Not often, and certainly not to this degree. We have the occasional employee consider selling information, but thanks to our security and operations teams, we always catch them before any damage can be done. This was the first time anyone from either department was involved. My thought exactly. Imogene's instincts were right about you. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it. As for the details, I think someone back on the operations floor would prefer to explain those to you.
I have things I wish to discuss with you, when you have time. I suppose now you can add climbing the corporate ladder to your list of accomplishments. I think it is perhaps for the best that the research program will come to an end. Where that neuroamp technology could lead, there are many bad outcomes. Too many. I was going to say that everyone with an internal neuroamp all trying to control each other would be the worst. But perhaps even more dangerous would be only one person managing to control everyone else. Except you, perhaps. You do still have one in your head. I consider this to be a much safer outcome than nearly any other. And before you joke, yes, that is a compliment. And if you are the only one with this neuroamp, I know exactly who to keep an eye on. I suggest you keep that in mind. With the neuroamp matter settled, we should move on to other things, yes?
This could be the most important meeting of my career.
Something you need? Need something? What's not news today? Imogene exonerated? Ularu off the board for trying to set up both Imogene and Masako? Last mistake she'll ever make. Masako will make sure of that. They let Camden go today. Good at his job, always reliable but high maintenance, Camden. Yuko's holding out on me, but I bet you anything it was related to Bayu.
Something important or just conversation? A pleasure. Stay safe.
Did you hear the news about Ularu? I bet you anything a rival.
You've certainly shaken things up around here. I still can't believe Ularu tried to frame me. An obvious misjudgment on my part. But now that's all in the past. It's time to get back to your typical day-to-day. Of course, if you think anyone here believes in downtime, forget it. And I'd say it's good to be back if I hadn't returned to a mountain of paperwork. Now, since you were new, you've been dealing with people, but most of our assignments are generated on the mission board. The board holds any available assignments that our techs have pieced together, and I've approved. Questions? Nothing you aren't already familiar with. You experienced the majority of what we do here during your training, if you recall. Uploading a few files, manipulating a narrative or two, obtaining schematics, it's just more of the same. Well, after this conversation, you can head up to your office and see for yourself. Just think of it as a computer that lets you pick and choose your assignments at will, rather than having to deal with me all the time. No, but try to see that as an improvement, since I certainly do. The mission board is more efficient for both of us. I wish. Assignment approval isn't exactly riveting work. With your promotion, you've earned yourself an office, so whenever you're ready, you can find your own personal mission board inside. And the best perk of them all, you're free to make your own hours. Oh, and congratulations, of course. No, only within the tower. The security risk would be far too much to allow access to that data in a public space. You certainly will. Go check out the board, and if you have any questions, I suppose I can start up an open door policy. Just for you.
finished that research you needed done. Everything's right here. Oh, judging that.
I warned people that Tomo was... I can't believe Olaru's gone. I figured that for CEO.
Try not to harass my text. It's a good thing Imogene's back. I'm busy enough as it is.
Don't cause any trouble.
I've got my eye on you. It's quiet up here.
You're out there a lot, right?
Something to drink? We have plenty of Aurora on hand for your enjoyment. Excellent choice. The Sky Suite offers luxury and sophistication you won't find anywhere else in the settled systems. And since you'll be living in the same tower as the Astral Lounge, all of its pleasures and pageantry are only an elevator away. Wonderful. Here's your key. The trade tower elevator will take you directly to your new home. And if there's anything I can provide to enhance the experience, let me know. Hope to see you again.
Stuff.
Yeah, Owen told me not to worry about it.
Well, there you go. It's as usual.
in trouble or we'll have...
You know, the way you handle things, not bad. Not bad. Of all the places in the galaxy, only Neon can make me feel so damn oily. And you dealt with its absolute worst. Ryujin, Infinity LTD, all of it. You doing all right? That was a lot. Well, it just makes you human. How come no matter how advanced society gets, we still just can't help coming up with new horrors to inflict on ourselves? Mechs, xeno-warfare, and now this neuroamp tech. I swear it's the worst yet. Thank God you put a stop to it. It's worse, far worse. The other tech is capable of untold destruction, but with the neuroamp, they can take away your very body. They can make you do any damn thing they want. I can't think of anything more terrifying. Amen to that. With a piece of work like Ryujin, I know there isn't a good person to put in charge. I mean, I guess Masako's better than Ularu Chen, but you just know if violence or being just plain evil was the path of least resistance, then Masako would pick it same as Ularu. And how on earth is that a good thing? Well, the... Of all the places in the galaxy, and you dealt with its absolute worst. You doing all right? That was a lot. I mean, there's a reason Neon attracts them. It's the city of we still just can't... Mechs, thank God you put a stop to it. It's worse, far worse. The other tech is capable of untold, but with the neuroamp, they can make you do any... I can't think of anything. Amen to that. With a piece of work like... I mean, I guess, but you just know it. I know, it's unfair. The whole situation just makes me want to punch a wall. Well, the whole damned affair is over. Thank God. I don't know about you, but a fella could do a lot worse in Constellation.
If it were not for the lodge, I think I would avoid this city. It is all just too much. I am glad to be back. It will be good to have a moment to relax.
Burning helium across the far reaches is dangerous work. Would have told you to gear up even before we knew we had competition.
Well, gosh.
Very funny, Walter. You know Constellation's been keeping me busy.
Right, sure. You're telling me? You haven't been on the lookout at all?
Well, okay, fine. I had heard that Buddha's tooth may still exist. I was trying to find out if there's any truth to it.
Well, best of luck.